All right. Are we we'll start?
Maybe we can.
Yes?
I'll talk to Scott.
Okay.
Maybe we can.
All right, the time being approximately 7 PM, I will call the Thursday, October 28th, 2021, meeting of the Middleton Board of Appeals to order. Welcome, everybody. Just a quick note for the record. We are at the Fuller Meadow School, and there are mask requirements at this facility, so masks are required to be worn for all persons entering the school and attending the meeting per the order of Mass Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. So thank you, attendees, for having your mask on this evening. Appreciate that. The meeting of the board are audio and video recorded, so just so you know that. Katrina, anything else that we need to announce?
You may want to appoint your alternate as a voting member tonight.
Oh, okay. I don't recall doing that in the past, but,
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, Carolyn's
okay. I
not
will
here,
accept
Nick
the
is-
motion that we, or do I just appoint
You could
them?
just do it.
Okay, I would like to appoint Bill Renault and Ann
Okay.
as alternate, as full members of our voting board this evening. Okay, anything else?
Nope.
That good? Okay. Any other protocol? Well, this isn't a virtual meeting, so we can just kind of move on, I guess. All right, so the first item on the agenda is the meeting minutes of September 23rd, 2021. Any revisions, edits, comments, deletions of the minutes?
Good.
Hearing none, I'll accept the motion that we accept the minutes of September 23rd.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Renault. Do I have a second?
Second it.
Seconded by Ann,
Stereo in.
Stereo Ann. Any additional discussion? Seeing, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Okay. Item number 2, new public hearings. We have 15E Sylvan Street, Joseph Rollo, First Sports Center Academy LLC, number 21-1130. And if I could have our clerk read the legal ad.
Yeah, legal it. 'Cause I sure can't see that up there.
I'm trying to,
I'm sure you
Oh,
can.
don't even bother,
Oh, wait.
Katrina.
I need my
Sorry, it's
mouse.
right here. Do I have the right
That's
one?
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Thank you. I got it, Katrina. I'm good.
It's actually that one.
Oh, I don't got it. I got it now. Okay.
There you go. All right.
Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing at 7 PM Thursday, October 28th, 2021, at Fuller Meadow School in the application of Joseph Rollo, First Sports Academy, LLC, for the permits necessary to allow an indoor sports training facility on property located at 15 East Sylvan Street and found on Assessor's Map 9, Parcel 32. Plans are on file with the town clerk at Town Hall. I assume the butters, wait a minute, oh, yep, the butters have been notified. And, any correspondence, Katrina?
there is.
Okay, we'll get to that. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Yep. And I can put that up when it's needed.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of this application? Come forward. Just identify yourself and your colleague and tell us what you'd like to do.
Hi, my name is Joseph Rollo, and this is my brother and partner, Dan Rollo, Daniel Rollo. We're asking for permission or permits to operate a sports training facility at that address, 15E Sylvan Street, Middleton.
What is in the space now?
It's just a garage and office space.
Okay, and I was looking at the previous filing, that's what it was approved for in the past. And how many, I guess, clients, students, athletes do you expect to have at any one time?
Sure. So we're primarily a private training facility, so all we're doing really in a nutshell is teaching kids how to train or teaching young athletes up to the, college level as well, from 3 to, 19, 20 years old. And we're just, so we, in the facility at one time, we might have 4 or 5 athletes, maybe max. And we just, the way we have it set up is we could stagger their training regimen so they could, utilize the space properly and keep everybody separate and stuff. So really, I think probably a maximum of like 5 or 6 people in the whole building at one point or another.
Have you done this elsewhere, or is this the?
Yeah, we've been
startup?
operating for a while. I've been doing it myself for about 20 years. And we've been using just different facilities, like we've used Danvers Indoor before. We've used some like Sportsplex over in Danvers as well. And so we're just kind of just trying to, keeping it small and COVID friendly, so to speak, you know what I mean? Just trying to meet the needs of the people that can't really, don't want to be around too many people,
All right. I believe when I read the previous filing, they were required to have 10 spaces, parking spaces, and there are 12 there. I mean, I'm presuming there's adequate parking.
Yeah, I think there's more than that. The owner was telling me it's about 28 spaces or 29 spaces, something like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's private setback, and it's like our own little area, so like the other businesses that are in the building really don't see us, or we're not in their way, and they're not in our way.
Is there immediate access to the Dunkin' Donuts? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just leaving. Let's go to the members, if any questions. Bill?
I'm not seeing anything. It seems pretty straightforward to me.
Okay.
Ann?
Nothing.
Ian?
Is this that new building behind Dunkin' Donuts, or is it that existing one that was
Yeah, it's like, it's 325 was like the spa,
right?
and it's that,
That one that's
that building
immediate
that's,
behind there?
yeah, straight in, yeah, right
Okay,
behind
where
there.
they tore down the house in front of it? Did they tear that house
Uh,
down?
I think so. I saw it on the
They did tear it
satellite.
down.
No, that's
I
gone.
saw it on the satellite, and then I was like, I don't remember seeing that house.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so.
Okay, so that building that was there.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Do you have hours?
Just typical, like most stuff after school, most
After
of the,
school?
like, yeah, the traffic will probably be after school, like the people that come in
So
after.
this is this your full-time job, like, or do you come
Well,
there
I
after?
own a couple different businesses and stuff.
So you're
too,
not
as
there
well.
all the time?
I plan on being there, yeah, most of the time myself, yeah. I have office space upstairs, so I'm moving my offices over there too so I could, sit in my office and do my daily office work.
Okay.
What else is in that building? Do you know what else is in there?
I think there's, for the, just a lack of a better way to describe it, some construction-type businesses in the other bays. I think there's a couple of different bays there. And then the real estate company, which is the owner's
Yeah.
people there, over in the other building, which is the old spa.
And I believe the park, just to jump back to the parking, if I recall, right? So the requirement for industrial, I believe, is the same as recreational, is that correct? Anybody know that?
Katrina might know that.
I would ask staff, but we seem to have lost our staff.
Step down.
So as long as that's the case, as long as they're meeting the requirements for the parking, I'm
You don't have,
comfortable.
and you don't have any landscaping you have to deal with either,
No,
right?
yeah, they
Nothing.
take care of everything that needs to be taken care of, I guess.
You're just in a spot there.
Yeah.
Craig, questions? Nope. All good? Okay. I would like to wait till Katrina comes back. Katrina. Yeah, it doesn't seem like this is a heavy use.
No, it doesn't look like it.
What kind of athletes just kill time here? Are you training, or who are you training?
Well, we train like a lot of elementary school kids,
Yeah.
that just entering sports and all the way up to like kids trying to get into college and working on their skills and to get into college. We do a lot of different things like, footwork.
Are you an athletic trainer?
Yeah. And then we do speed training and explosive training, like try to get faster and jump higher and, that kind of thing. So we do a bunch of different things that tie into specific sports, and just to help them, when they get on the field or on the court, they feel a little bit more, they're doing all the things, like, for lack of a better way to describe it, that the professional athletes do, So just to be in the best shape they can be to be successful on the field.
Okay.
Katrina, while you were out, we just had one quick question on the parking requirements for recreational use, because this would be considered like a recreational thing, right, or sport use. Is that the same as industrial, so 1.2 space, what is it, space for, one space per 1.2 persons on the largest shift? Is that what's required?
That would be a question for Scott Fitzpatrick.
Okay. All right.
Are you good?
So that, I mean, I guess the only question is if we approve this, what happens if it doesn't have enough parking? Per
That's
our
something
bylaw.
wouldn't he catch up?
He did have a chance to comment, and he didn't comment on that. I guess he wasn't concerned with
We
it.
might have, do we have a satellite view of the parking lot? Because you can see there's, so the way the building entrance is, so like when you turn into the lot,
Yep.
the bays are right in front of you, and the building, the spa building's on the right-hand side here. So there's parking all along that wall and.
Like where the garage
kinda
is,
turns the
right?
corner.
So
Yeah,
there's
right.
parking, and you have that parking lot that's there?
And then there's a parking lot around the front, which is our front door, which is the office space.
Okay.
And that, there's, I think he said something like 28 spaces there, I want to say.
Okay.
Katrina, do you have the department comments handy?
I do.
Can you
See them from there?
can you read them
You
for us?
can read them, go ahead, I
Oh,
can't, I
sure.
can't see that far, sorry.
It's always good to just hear
Okay,
what the
we only
departments
have
to say.
two. One is from Chief Tom Martnick. Good afternoon, Fire Department has no issues with either project. Interiors just need to comply with all building and fire codes.
Are they in there?
And then one from Kristen Kent, our conservation agent. There are no conservation comments on this application.
Okay.
Where's the zero?
All right.
That arrow took us over.
Okay, is there anyone here from the public that would like to speak on this? Hearing none. I will accept the motion then, that the adverse effects of the proposed indoor recreational use located at 15 East Sylvan Street will not outweigh its beneficial impacts to the town or the neighborhood in view of the particular characteristics of the site and of the proposal in relationship to the site, and that the following criteria have been met: that the proposed use will meet community needs as providing a niche community service, the use will have a minimal impact on traffic and pedestrian flow and safety, there are adequate utilities and other public services in place for the proposed use, use is located in a light industrial zone and fits with the character of the neighborhood, there will be little or no harm to the environment, and there will possibly be a positive impact, fiscal impact to the town by bringing in new business. Would someone like to move that?
So moved.
So moved. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Ann. Any additional discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Okay, and I will accept the motion to issue the special permit to allow an indoor recreational use at 15 East Sylvan Street with the following conditions. No training or activities are allowed outside. That's it. No outdoor training, right?
No,
No one doing jumping jacks in the middle of the street?
no,
Okay.
no, probably not.
Okay,
So moved.
so moved. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Ann. All those in favor, any additional discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? So move. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't see anybody else. Let Katrina keep going.
She's got a call, looks like she's got an important call.
Hmm?
Looks like she had a call
Oh,
that she had to take,
someone calling from home?
maybe. It was one of those jump up and run things, yeah,
Uh-oh.
so.
All right. Next up. So just somewhat of a newbie here. Do we generally continue if there's no one here?
Well, last
What's
time.
your pleasure?
Last time we didn't do that, right? So we had somebody that wasn't
We've
here
never
for the
done that,
extension.
really, right, we don't really do that if no one's here to represent themselves. We can't assume.
We continue?
I would think so.
Craig, do you have any thoughts on that?
think.
What do you think?
Do we continue if there's no one here?
Well, I have her on the phone right now.
Oh.
Can we recess for a second, and I can just
ask you, or I could ask you right now.
Sure.
While we're on camera. So I have her on the phone. There was a misunderstanding. She was waiting to be told when the hearing was, and I said, no, we meet every single Thursday. You know, that's something that I guess we thought she knew when she applied. So she can't make it here in time. Is there a way that she can speak to the board remotely? It's a very similar case to the one you just saw. I mean, this is, we've never done this before, so
Can we
feel
put her
free to, if you feel
Should be on
uncomfortable to
speakerphone?
say.
Can you put her on speaker and put her in a microphone?
Yeah, I mean,
It would be
I
just
could
like
try
meeting
that.
remotely like we've
Yeah,
been doing.
I don't have a problem with that.
I think
Okay.
I mean, we're supposed to be allowed to, because
All right,
it's
did
a
you
hybrid
hear?
meeting anyway.
What's that?
We're required to, it's a hybrid meeting.
Yeah.
So they are
So-
willing, I'm gonna try and put you on speakerphone. And if you can't hear what they're saying, I will relay what they're saying to you, and if they have questions. And we'll see how far we can go, but if they feel uncomfortable at all, they'll continue, but at least we'll try and get you heard tonight.
All right, let's officially open this filing. So, next item is item B under 2 is 206 South
Okay.
Main Street.
All right, I'm
Unit
gonna put you on
number 8,
speakerphone now,
Special
okay?
permit for indoor recreational
All right.
use. Ariel La Rosa, number 21-1131. And we will read the legal notice.
Okay, the zoning board of appeals will hold a public hearing, 7 PM Thursday, October 28th, 2021 at Fuller Meadow on the application of Ariel La Rosa for the permits necessary to allow an indoor youth softball training facility on the property located at 206 South Main Street, Unit 8, found on Assessor's Map 26, Parcel 3. Plans are on file with the town clerk. And wait for it. The abutters have been notified.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Ariel, can you hear them
I
talking?
cannot hear in the background. I can, no.
Okay, I'm gonna move you up
just
to
move it
their
right here.
table.
Put it
right next to us.
Actually, put it right here, Katrina. There we go. Hi, Ariella, thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much for allowing me to do this.
Okay. So just a couple of quick questions for you. Now, is this the same space? And it looks like it's about, I don't know, 20-something hundred square feet. I did a couple of quick calculations. It's about 2,574 square feet. Is this where they had the weight lifting facility?
No, this is the spot of the wedding group and tuxedo shop.
Oh, okay,
Oh, okay.
all right,
I believe it's Unit 8 in the building.
okay. No one's renting tuxedos anymore.
No, we'll try the tuxedos.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about what your business is going to be, and how many people you expect, and when they come and when they go, and age groups and all that kind of stuff? Tell us a little bit about your
Of course. So
Application.
what it is a softball training facility. What I am is an owner of an AAU program, so it's a travel softball program where they practice throughout the winter and into the summer for tournaments. So what I did is create a facility where they now have a place to train over the winter with their hitting and fielding and pitching and catching. There's 4 batting cages. The batting cages are about 12 by 45 feet. Everything is netted and enclosed, so nothing hits the walls or anything like that. And what it is ages 8 years old to 18 years old, where we break up into 5 different teams. We have a U10, U12, 2 U14 teams, and a U18 team. All the coaches are college female athletes, so it's a female-grown program, which is awesome. It's a good start for all of us to make sure that the softball girls relate to us a little bit more. And what we do is we train each team twice a week from November to March until we can go outside. So that space is used for my team to train. And then on the outside world, I would love to run camps and clinics teaching fundamentals and skills to all ages, breaking them up into groups between 8-year-olds to 10-year-olds, where the ball is one side, and then from 10 to 16-year-olds, where the ball obviously changes. For capacity, we probably won't have any more than 15 to 20 people in at a time. If there is a full team in the facility, there will only be one team in the facility, and each team usually has about 12 people. As for groups and clinics, there will be no more than 6 people in each group or clinic. That way the instructor is 1 to 4 or 1 to 6 ratio, depending on if it's pitching or fielding and hitting. Other than that, we do have a small area for strength and conditioning, speed and agility, where we will work with the girls. There's no more than 5-pound, 20-pound dumbbells and treadmill. There's really no big equipment or anything like that. Once again, that is completely blocked off from all the netting in the cages. But our biggest, I would say, the biggest thing that we're trying to do is help all the youth programs. What I've noticed in the last couple of years, I mean, I've had a 28-year-old. I've been coaching for the last 10 years, whether I'm also the varsity coach over at Middleton Catholic High School for the girls now. And I've also coached in college, and I've been coaching summer for the last 8 years. And what I've noticed is the transition between our youth programs into more of an elite softball group has definitely declined. And I think it's just because there's more parents just filling in and not really being able to watch their kids. And what we're trying to do is help our youth programs around and just create a better opportunity of our coaches and our younger athletes that come out to help these girls develop their skills and obviously the love of the game. That's basically what we're doing. As for baseball, we do have some teams that are willing to rent out the space a little, but our space is not around baseball. It's more around softball. So the girls have kind of the right-of-way priority over it because of the tunnel size alone. Baseball obviously uses a longer tunnel for their pitching, and our tunnels are based around softball.
Okay. Thank you. Let's go to the members first with some questions for you. Craig?
Yep.
No questions? Okay. Ann?
I see 11 parking spaces. Your landlord says 6 in front and 5 in back. Does that sound right to you?
I'm sorry, I didn't really hear that. Sorry, 11 parking spaces?
So you have 11 parking spots, 6 in front, 5 in back, I'm seeing from your landlord?
Yeah, and the best thing about that is our operation actually doesn't open until 3 p.m. and we're probably going to be closing around 8:30 to 9 p.m. And the businesses surrounding us, so Northeast Kitchen and the Body Ambition behind us that also use that front parking, their businesses close at 5 p.m. So with the rights of that property and that space, I technically will have all, I think it's 12 spaces in the front after 5 p.m.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, it's good. Thank you, Ariel.
Well, looking, yeah, just a question, and this will be back to,
Wait a minute,
probably
hold
to,
on.
this is probably towards you, Katrina. So looking at the original plan, the requirement for the recreational, indoor recreational was 1 space for every 200 square feet. So that's 17 spaces. So my question is, what's the use, are there still other recreational uses? So do they need more space, parking spaces? So in theory, she only has access to 11, but she's required to have 16 probably, by my quick math?
Yeah,
So that's-
that's a
So
question
there
for
is
Scott.
more
And like I
parking,
said,
obviously, like I said, in the back and also on the side where Sunny's Boxing is. And I am allowed to use those spaces as long as I'm not taking up the required spaces of each building. But in the back, there is an entire parking lot where, once again, all those businesses are shut down at a certain time. It's usually 5 p.m. where I am going to be kind of at my busiest hour from like 6 to 8 where everyone else will be shut down. So I do have parking spaces in the back, and then I will have the front. With
She
the
is
traffic
exclusive.
usage, I don't think that it should be a problem.
She is exclusive
Picking up and
to
dropping
11.
off usually is where the cars will be staying, but for our facility, we're more of like a drop-off. I don't really allow a lot of our parents to sit in there and kind of watch the whole time because it just creates a busier atmosphere, and I like to just make sure that the girls are kind of paying attention to me and not their parents.
Yeah, well, you answered my next question, so that's perfect.
So, and Bill, just so you know, she has exclusive
Exclusive
use of 11
11
spaces, but there's additional parking in the rear
According
of the
to the
building.
According to the lease.
I understand that.
The landlord relays that out here in her lease.
Oh, so it does say it in there that?
It says it in her lease, yeah.
Okay, good. I must have missed that. So that's great. In my mind, then I'm good. You've answered my questions.
Okay. Ann?
I just,
Oh, I just have a question, and I don't know who it's for necessarily. I'm not familiar, I know where it is, and I know, but is it well lit back there? Is that a concern where it's all young girls coming out at night? Is there
right on-
lighting?
Yeah, so in the front it's already lit. We have three headlamps over our signs in our building, and then the main entrance is always lit up. So we actually use the main entrance in the front of the building to get into our facility. The other entrance that I'm allowed to have, I made it clear that that is a side entrance, and we will not be using that. In the case of parking in the back, our entire walkway from the back lot is lit up. So you
Okay.
will have a full path of lights that lead you on the side of the building on its own entrance, so you don't have to walk all the way around.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
I'm moving you.
We're passing you around.
No problem. Thank you
Okay.
guys so much for this.
Okay.
I'm really sorry that I'm not there.
Just another thing, too, you said you have students that would be 16 or older, preferably 17, 18 years old. Do you, and again, Bill, this kind of gets to your question in terms of, parents coming and dropping the kids off versus people coming, older kids coming and just driving themselves there and parking. But I think just based on the discussion, I feel comfortable that if she has 11 spaces that are dedicated to her and then these other spaces in the back, I'm
Yeah,
feeling
so
pretty comfortable.
how we do that with our 18-year-olds is we kind of leave them on separate nights and on separate times than our younger girls. Because of that, we kind of give them their own space. They're designated to a night on their own, so they're not really in the way of any of the younger athletes, just for safety reasons and for the reason that we do have, once they do reach that age where they do start driving themselves. So when the 18-year-olds are in there, they actually are kind of by themselves from a certain time where there won't be any younger kids in there unless, maybe someone's doing just a quick private lesson or anything like that. But we do kind of designate their own time for the older girls just simply because of safety.
Okay. I just have one other question, and Craig, you have a question? Okay. So you said you have 6 clinics. How many students are per clinic?
So it's not 6 clinics. I actually have 6 people per clinic.
Per
So-
clinic, sorry. How many clinics do you have with 6 people in it, I guess?
So what we're doing is we're advertising a 4-week clinic every single month. It's actually going to be 2 hours a week, where it's broken down into 2 different days, so they'll get 8 hours throughout the month. For pitching, we do no more than 4 people in the clinic, only because, of course, that is a little bit more, I would say it's harder to learn when you have more girls, and we actually provide them with catchers, so they have their own safety protocols by not hitting each other, of course, when they're younger. And as for the hitting, the fielding, or the conditioning, we do no more than 6 girls at a time, because of the 4 cages, at least we can put, 1 to 2 girls in each cage.
Okay. Craig?
Just a
So once
comment.
again, all those cancer clinics, they're all on their certain times. So once one team is either one team are actually taking over the whole facility, or there's one camp taking over the whole facility. There's really no more people coming in and out while one of the activities is being held.
Okay.
I just had a comment. I know there's been discussion about the parking and such. This project and this property has kind of evolved over the years. And when they put in the side pedestrian doors the last time through, there was no way possible to not have people parking in the back. It's just, there's no use in the property that wouldn't take over all the front parking. So they did a really good job of addressing that with the walkways and the lighting.
Yeah.
And there are an additional, I think, 17 at least parking spaces available, even if they maxed out building throughout the whole property at the highest rate of use.
Oh,
So-
okay, good.
so-
That wasn't clear from the application. So
No, you got to go back a little bit, but it's there. So they already account for the one indoor recreational use with its 17 provided spaces. Even if you convert this over and maximize the use of the vacant space, you still got another 13 parking spaces available.
Excellent.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you, Craig.
Yeah, I was going to say that there is a huge lot in the back where I know there's like a couple of car detailing, and I believe there's a car rental place and collisions and stuff. And I know that they obviously keep their cars, back there all the way in the lot, but there's like almost, I would say, it's probably about at least 150 by 150 feet of just completely empty space back there. And I know Body and Vision behind me also has some spots back there that they're allowed to use as well. So we're kind of all, we have more than what we're actually required from each space.
Okay. One last question for me. You said that as soon as the weather gets better, you go outside. What are you doing with the space when the weather gets better and you're not indoors?
So of course that's going to be our biggest struggle, obviously, to keep open. And I think that's along with any, sport that obviously requires being outside. But I believe the biggest thing is our fundamental camps and clinics are going to definitely keep us open. We're willing to, really advertise on helping. With the conditioning and agility, our plan is to hopefully have, maybe a trainer in-house that wants to rent out the facility, because if you push back all 3 cages, it kind of opens up into a full turf field that's boxed with the netting. So it's perfect to run conditioning and agility and classes like that, opening the doors up and kind of keeping it indoors, just like a gym would, but no crazy equipment or anything like that. We're really kind of just being creative in the space that we have.
Okay. From a process standpoint, I guess, Katrina, maybe this goes to you. If she were to rent out, sublease this or rent this out, provided it's the same type of use, she wouldn't have to come back, or would they have to come back here?
Oh, that's a good question. If it's the same use, I don't see why she couldn't just sublease it out. We don't condition any of our permits on ownership.
Okay.
Yeah, so as long as it's the same use, I
Right,
think we're fine.
okay. But if she wanted to be making,
If it turned
some
in-
marine
Well,
parks.
yeah, I mean, I would say in that case, it's not really like leasing it out. It would be one of our trainers or our coaches
Sure.
running whatever it is that they're going to be running, which obviously opens up to the public and our teams.
Okay,
alone.
very good. All right, any other questions from the members?
None.
Hearing none. Is there anyone here from the public that we can't see?
We're in Zoom land, right?
All right.
Do we have Zoom land? Are we
Huh?
on Zoom?
No.
We're not on Zoom.
It's just live. Oh, we're just live? Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
all right. Hearing none.
We don't look live.
I will accept a motion
Awesome, thank you.
that the adverse effects of the proposed indoor recreational use located at, I got the wrong one. Where's the other one?
Well, I think it's basically the same
I was looking at
motion.
15, sorry, here we go. It says 15E, Sylvan.
No, it's really the same motion.
Same motion, just change the address.
Yeah, I'm going by my script here, and it was written the same thing.
Oh,
Okay.
did I write it wrong?
206 South Main Street,
Yes, I
Unit
did.
8, will outweigh its benefit, will not outweigh the beneficial impacts to the town or the neighborhood in view of the particular characteristics of the site and of the proposal in relation to that site, and that the following criteria have been met: that the proposed use will meet the community needs and provide a niche community service, the use will have minimal impact on traffic and pedestrian flow and safety, that there's adequate utilities and public services in place for the proposed use, the use is located in a light industrial zone and fits with the character of the neighborhood, there will be little or no harm to the environment, and there will possibly be a positive economic and fiscal impact to the town by bringing in a new business.
So moved.
So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'm going to say second by Bill.
All right.
Thank you.
Any additional discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. And I'll accept the motion to issue the special permit to allow an indoor facility, an indoor recreational use at 206 South Main Street, Unit 8, with the following conditions: that no training or activity is allowed outdoors. Someone want to move that?
Okay.
Well. Go.
There's already an indoor training facility that trains outdoors there.
There is.
Are they supposed to?
I don't know, but they do, so we gotta be careful.
Well,
if we're gonna-
yeah, I do have a question about that.
Okay, what's your question?
So there is a gym behind me, and they do train outdoors. Am I allowed to do that or no?
We can't deny.
You
I would
said you-
say
you
if
said you weren't
you
going to.
need to go through site plan to have tables to eat outdoors, you
And I
need,
mean, by training outdoors, I think they have like a couple of tires that they may flip or maybe jump around, but I just want to make sure
Well,
that
well, let
I'm
me,
free.
Ariel, let me ask you the question. Do you need to train outdoors?
I mean, if.
In the parking lot?
No, never in the parking lot, no.
Okay, so where would you train outdoors on this site? Because it's all parking lot in building.
So I know on the side, there is a grass area where I know some of the gyms does use some of the grass for training. I didn't know if I was allowed to do that as well. I'm just asking, not saying that I need to, but if a girl wants to throw, outside on the grass, is that allowed? It's not in the parking lot.
I would question if they're allowed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would question honestly if Ariel, if they're even allowed to be honest with you.
Yeah. They should have come back to the board and actually asked to modify their site plan approval to be able to do anything
outside,
outdoors.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's not supposed to be happening, and we'll look into that. But unless there's a need for it, we'd like to continue with the condition.
And I think
come
you
back,
could
yeah.
also tell her that if she really wanted to be outdoors,
She can
come
come back.
back with the
can
site
come
plan
back,
showing the area that
Yeah.
they're going to be
Yes, I'd be
working, and
concerned.
so
Sure.
you can make sure that it's safe
Yeah.
for them to be
I think
outdoors.
in the spirit of expediency, Ariel, I think, I mean, we can go back and forth on this, but I think we would like to keep the condition in there. Again, if it becomes an issue for you, or we find, and you find that the other facility is allowed to do that, you can always come back and request a modification.
Okay, no problem.
All
Thank
right?
you.
So, I have a motion on the floor with a condition of no training or activity allowed outdoors. Do I have a motion?
I will make that motion.
All right, do I have a second?
Seconded.
Bill seconded. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Yep.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Good luck.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this. You have no idea how much it means.
No worries. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hopefully my daughter goes in.
I know, that's nice that that's
good,
a
right?
thing.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
happy about that.
Any new or other business? I have one thing that I would like to just propose tonight. Most of the boards and commissions I've been on have always had a vice chair. And the reason of that, in the event that the chair is not available, that the vice chair can actually, step up and sit in. So I would like to nominate Ann as vice chair. You would still have your clerk duties, but just,
Can I do that?
well, the clerk is by the rule. The vice chair is by us. So, in other words, we're I would like to designate someone so that if
think
I'm not
that's
here some night, everybody's looking at each other saying, oh, who wants to do it?
I think that's a great idea, and Ann, you know outside of Craig,
Craig
but
knows it better. He's got the experience. What do you think, Craig? He's really not. Thanks.
That's why
I'll
I was
sit right
saving
next to
him.
Yeah.
He's my
I see the
second.
head he would
I'll
know,
sit
so.
right next to him.
All right, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, and let's do it by a vote, all right? I'd accept the motion that Ann becomes our vice chair.
so moved.
So move. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second that? Any additional discussion? Are we all in favor? Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Vice Chair.
Madam Vice Chair.
Madam Vice Chair. All right. Is there any other new or other business?
I forgot to put the vote on the sidewalk improvement policy on here, but I'll put it on December 9th.
Great.
That'd
When
be
you
great.
meet. Remember, you don't meet on Thanksgiving, so don't show up here on
Bummer.
Thanksgiving.
I'm not planning to be,
Yeah, I
I
was
wouldn't
really
have.
counting on being here.
I should
When's the
definitely be in a
next
food coma by then, so.
Next meeting is going to be December what?
9th.
December 9th.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why when I saw she wasn't here, I'm like, uh-oh.
Oh,
Some-
okay.
Something happened. She, because I know she was in a hurry to get her permit. That's why I ran out and tried calling her. And I'm so glad she called back.
That worked out well.
Yeah, that was good. But I think we should,
Never do that again?
never do what? Oh, yeah. Yes.
I tend to agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If, God forbid, you tried to vote no, and you didn't give her a fair hearing,
I agree with you.
that could have been,
That, yep.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. But,
but it was
Yeah.
gravy, so whatever.
the-
I mean, yeah, is that pretty easy?
yeah, honestly, if that was Angelica's coming in with plans and stuff,
Yeah.
that's, as far as I'm concerned, we shall continue,
Right.
Right.
you know?
I knew it was very similar to the one that just walked out the door after 10 minutes of public hearing, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, so, Again, there was a good meeting last night with Selectman Cresta and several of the board members, and it was, I think, a lively discussion and a good discussion, and I think there's more to come with that. And
Great.
we started talking about sidewalks, and we gravitated towards traffic, and then we went back to sidewalks, and then we went back to traffic, and then we talked a little bit about safety, and then back to traffic. But I think they're discussions that we should be having, and I think we'll continue to have,
You know what?
so.
It was all about safety.
It's safety, yeah. So, anyone have anything else?
No, one question, so, I've come up with a bunch of questions on parking and kind of where we sit.
Yes.
And I've probably asked that question now 3 or 4 times. Most applications that I've seen in my career include that as a chart that comes as part of the application. Is that something we could look to modify at a future meeting? I think it's just a vote of us, because it's our application, or maybe you just do it yourself, I'm not sure.
You noticed in these, do you mean a chart on the site plan or a chart that
It's usually on the
ISAF
site
does?
plan, but on some of these that don't necessarily modify the site plan, but they're modifying the use, just to make sure it's consistent with the original plan. I know that we have all the other information at the bottom, but, I
Right.
mean, honestly, for us to go through all of that,
So,
think
because
it's
you've
a
been
little-
asking about parking,
Yeah.
I don't make decisions on the zoning and interpreting the zoning. I could look at it and tell you what I read. There's not much in our parking regulations, though.
They have
Did
it-
you
they-
say
No,
that
but
you
I-
looked at
Bill,
it?
correct me if I'm wrong, I think what Bill's talking about is that if a certain use is either based on square footage or number of seats or
Yep.
what have you, there's a parking ratio that says, okay, you need 3 spaces for every 4,000 square feet, or whatever it might be.
Right.
And I think what you're looking for is,
Reference.
where is that on the plan? And where's that chart on the plan
Yep.
that is showing what's required and what's being proposed?
Yeah, and
Okay.
so if they're changed, so if they got an approval, a great example is the first application we got today, right? So when we went through and looked at the recreational use, because it was on the chart of the site plan, it wasn't on the other site plan that was included in the packet. So realistically, they probably needed to have a similar amount of parking spaces. So while I think they said that on site, there's 28. I don't believe that plan showed that not this one, the other one.
Did you look at this one, though?
I did, oh yeah, that had the chart on it.
That had the chart?
Has the chart, but see, we just changed a use though, right? So it was an industrial use that got converted to a recreational use. They both have different parking demand requirements to be on. So if this whole building changes to recreational use, right, or that happens, this would be completely non-compliant. And the applications are coming in where they can keep changing these uses,
Right.
They
Well, I
went
mean,
with
one
the-
of my bigger
they went-
concerns, Bill, to
yeah,
your point,
yeah.
is we have warehouse space.
Yeah.
And then they're turning it into something other than warehouse.
And that's continually happening. So I've been on, 4 meetings now? We've had one of these on every 4 meeting, on every meeting.
So I think what we need is a checkoff on our applications that if it's just a use in an existing building, which it seems like it should be simple, but the one thing that could be affected is the amount of parking. Is there enough parking for this new use?
Yeah, so typically what I've.
We need to ask that question, have them supply that. And I also need Scott to, if he's not going to be at the meeting, to give me some comments like the other department heads and say, is the parking adequate for this use? He should be the one saying, yes, it complies
code.
or it does not.
Meets the code or doesn't, yeah, I mean, I think we can do it, I mean, we can see, so typically, the charts I've seen says required, provided, that's it, and then for this use, what the change is. So it's usually like 3 columns. And, I mean, most applications, when I was in the private sector and had to apply, that was on every application I think that I did. I'm pretty sure we have it in Wakefield, but, I mean, I don't necessarily have to review the parking there, so I don't do
Yeah.
that. The building inspector does, so.
All right, that's a
Good
good
point.
suggestion.
Yeah, so that would be great, just to kind of fast track some of these things, because that's been basically most of my questions, so I'd rather just, if it's something as simple as, use changes, just make sure that we have enough.
I think
'Cause
in the
would
beginning, you'll
question-
just see that information in the staff report if it isn't supplied by the applicant, and then we will get it on the application so that it's right on the application.
I'd rather just have it on the application, I think that would make things a lot easier, yeah. Rather, because this way, if it doesn't get met, we can talk about it. It's
Right.
here, and it's something for us to review. I mean,
Okay.
we're reading through what's on it, so.
By on the application, what do you mean? Like it's part of the new application for everybody?
Yeah, if you have a parking change and you have a use change, make sure that the site has enough parking.
But we don't have a separate application for parking.
It's on the ZBA
We
application.
can add it.
You just add it in the
I'm trying to
ZBA
think how to
application.
add it, just
So that's
for
why I'm just,
applications for
I mean,
uses.
I would hate for like, are we like adding this like engineering requirement basically for like somebody who's coming for, like, to put a deck on.
Right.
Nope, you're not, because it's not applicable, right?
We'll think about it. We'll figure out a way. We won't
It's done-
add
it's
it
done
and
in other
make
towns.
everyone do it.
I can give you an example from other
No, I
towns.
think it's,
too.
no, I think we need it. I'm just saying, I don't think the application's the right spot. I think adding it afterwards, or, I mean, it's something that the building department can certainly supply based on, because
Yeah.
they know
Well, so
what's
you're-
in the
but you're
building
ask-
now.
Right,
But this,
right.
but most applicants would do this if it's anything that's a, some type of, if you can have it as, if it's in a business or, industrial use or something to that effect, then you're
Yeah.
required to provide it.
Yeah, we'll think about it in the office, and we'll figure out the best way to get the information to the board, so
I mean,
that you
I think
always
it's a
have that
good point.
information.
Again, if there's a warehouse space, someone's coming in to do some higher impact use, are they providing enough parking for the use? And the other question is, if they can't, then what?
Right.
Well, then they have to ask
they
for a,
would
request a
then
variance,
they're
right?
asking for a variance.
Yeah.
Well, right, so
And they
if
have to
it's
look at a shared, then they start
parking
looking at a
lot-
shared parking model, and if we're doing that, that probably needs to be moved as a zoning amendment down the road.
Yeah,
And there are towns that have already done this, most towns have these things already, so unfortunately, I think we've developed, hasn't necessarily, and I think, we've talked about this before, but our zoning code has not kept up with the times.
Right.
So,
right.
but this one can be something that impacts people very quickly, and, I would question on the first one by Rockaway there, though, Sylvan Street. I mean, I'm not sure, the plan itself said that they only needed 11 parking spaces. This use that we approved tonight needed 11 parking spaces.
Yeah.
So I would question whether, the gentleman that was here said they have 28. The plan that we had in front of us didn't show 28, or that was on the previous approval.
Right.
So, those are all those inconsistencies. I mean, I don't know how to review those. So, we're
Right.
asking questions and,
So we
we're
need to
getting
know
put in a
from the
tough spot here.
applicant, where is your parking? Or how many
Is it
spots do you
adequate?
have? Where is it located?
parking,
And
yeah.
then we need also staff to say, is that adequate?
That
And does
would,
it meet the code?
or we can just add it to the application. It's not, I can give you examples of it, Katrina. There's a good one in Wilmington that they did, they required it, if I recall.
No, but
That's easy.
it doesn't matter if they've given us the wrong information.
Right,
We still
they
need
still
staff
have to-
say,
they
"That's
have to
correct,
review
that's
it."
incorrect."
Yeah, I would prefer that, too.
Yeah, the board,
Let's-
I mean,
let's,
the staff has to,
I'm,
you want a record.
I want, yeah.
Yeah, I get it, I get it. I think you got like 8 minutes.
Maybe we
to
can
make the
maybe we
record.
can have that as a discussion for next meeting. How's that sound?
Yeah, well, actually, if you can provide, if you have something like from Wilmington, I think that'd be a help. Whatever we can find that I think that is gonna, make our job easier and have more robust, clarity
Yeah.
on stuff, I think that's good, so. Is there anything else? Does anyone have? Hearing none. Accept the motion to adjourn
So moved.
by Bill and seconded by Craig. Excellent. All in favor, say aye.
Second for motion to adjourn.
All right.
You don't.